Hi. These will be movements to help you get out of a low back trouble after you've already calmed them a bit from spasm. Okay? So one of the best things to do is start in a hand and knee position, all fours, and just gently start to play with allowing your low back to sag. You may know this, you may be familiar with this as cat-cow. It's a very, very good movement. The difference being that when your back is in spasm, you have to be very slow, careful, and deliberate about it. You do want to sink through the areas that are achy and sore. You want to breathe and soften and allow them to settle. That will take a little bit of time. Gently, very gently, never force anything, gently play with the movement of what's stuck and in spasm. And come back the other direction and the same thing. Your spine is having trouble moving right now. You need to play with the edges of where it can move and gently breathe and soften around them. So if you happen to feel a glitch maybe here, then this is where you're at, and you start to soften and work at the edges, squeeze a little bit into where it's stuck. Squeezing where it's stuck can be really helpful. For example, if I'm stuck and hurting right in here, I'm now kind of squeezing it. And gradually work the movement of your spine. Hips side to side, spine up and down. And start to get things moving just a little bit better. And starts to bring it the other direction again as well. Bring your hip out to the side, let's say to your left, and then sink towards into a sitting position. Sink your hips back towards actually child's pose, kind of towards a sitting on your heels, and circle around. Coming back up the other side onto your right. It can be very, very helpful to squeeze one side at a time. To show you with my left, squeeze and pull the hip up towards the ribs on that side. And the other side. And just go through some circles like that. Cat-cow again as needed, as it feels good. And when you're ready with that, done with that, come down to lying flat on your stomach, actually up on your elbows. You're going to feel trouble with the spine sinking into this area. Support that and gradually let the tension ease as the spine starts to drop from where it's anchored in the hips. As that gradually becomes okay, and this might take a few minutes, as that gradually becomes okay, you can then start to lengthen. Like this, through your spine. Kind of scooping down here and lengthening this way. and you will likely feel the trouble there in your low back. Gently traction your spine longer and allow it to fall kind of towards the floor, restoring the ability of your spine to go into a back bend. The most important thing, excuse me, the most important thing is to catch any time that you're clenching or bracing against it hurting. We want to gently and slowly soften in to where it's hurting. Allow your body to softly, slowly, gently sink into the movements that are hurting and that your body is not sure that it can do. Breathe and soften slowly. Melt. Once you're okay here, you can start to play a little bit with rolling, lifting one hip, pulling it up towards your ribs, lifting the other and pulling it up towards your ribs. Just kind of go back and forth with that and explore that movement. Anytime that it's hard or stiff or protected, slow down and gently breathe and melt and soften into that position. And as that starts to feel okay to move again, move a little bit more. And then come back up. To a knee and hand position, all fours. Test out the movement gently. And you should hopefully be moving a little bit better now.